What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of
Your favorite Aunties podcast.
Not just another episode. I shouldn't have said that.
No.
It's our 100th episode.
100. We have done this 100 times.
That's crazy.
It is.
Does it feel like it?
No.
It doesn't?
No, it just feels like this is another day, but in the best way.
Yeah.
In the very best way. It just feels like we've been doing this for a long time.
It's just natural.
Yeah.
I'm just talking to my friend.
Yeah.
And y'all are listening.
Right. But speaking of friends.
Yeah.
As you can see,
We got a
have
new
another
friend.
chair. Huh? We got an unk. Huh?
In the house.
Listen, first of all, I'm pretty sure
Y'all know
our
who this
family
is.
already knows who this
Y'all
is.
know. Y'all know.
But listen, this is Laterras R. Whitfield, okay? And matter of fact, just go on ahead and tell the audience who you are.
I'm Laterras R. Whitfield, the host of the Dear Future Wifey podcast.
Uh-huh.
Hear that voice right there?
Yeah.
Podcast.
Come on, radio voice.
Podcast. I'm trying to be sexy right here. I'm trying to get my sexy on. But yeah, so Laterras, your favorite uncle.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
That's good right there. We like how that sounds.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're so excited to just have a conversation. We had an amazing conversation earlier today.
Yeah.
Just laughing and kicking it, telling stories. And so
Yeah.
we're going to just continue that.
Yeah.
Right? We're just
Yeah.
kicking it with our favorite unk.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I think most of the conversation this morning was about dating,
Mhm.
relationships. Let's stay in that vein.
Let's talk
Baby,
about
because that was a vein. Oh, you could. He ready.
Let's talk
Let's
about
talk about it.
Uh-huh.
Listen, so I asked you a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Laterras, you're doing your thing.
Mm-hmm.
You are handsome. You
Thank
got
you
a
so
lot of stuff going for you. Your show is amazing.
Thank you.
You're doing your thing. Pick one.
Pick one.
Why you ain't picked one?
So is it like just going to Walmart or am I at Nordstrom's or am I at Saks and I just grab something off the rack? Is that how we choosing wives these days?
Well,
I mean, you can observe
right,
first.
right.
Okay, so
you
I can
know.
I can window shop. I get the privilege to window shop first.
Mhm.
Yeah. You can
And
do
then
that.
I just pick one.
Yeah.
Right. Because here's the thing. The thing is here.
Okay.
She and I know some amazing women of God
Absolutely.
who have a lot of stuff going for themselves, still have their mind. They're not crazy.
Mhm.
Okay. And they
More on
look
that later.
good. Okay.
Uh-huh.
They look good. They are keeping themselves. They are keeping themselves.
Integrity.
I need you to break down what keeping themselves is, because that's a church vernacular. So I want you
Okay.
to break that
So-
down for the people that don't know.
They're walking in purity.
Okay.
And when I say walking in purity, I mean abstaining.
Okay, there it
Okay.
is.
Okay. So let me
Mhm.
but
Keeping themselves.
keep it,
Keeping
they being kept sometimes even
Keeping
when they don't
themselves
want to
to
be.
themselves.
Hello?
Amen.
Keeping themselves unto themselves.
Hello.
Okay.
So, with that being said, again, you have some intelligent, beautiful, well-off women of God that I know are in your circle. I know. So why haven't you picked one?
I did pick one at one point, and she unpicked herself.
Well,
So at the end of the day,
Uh-huh.
I picked one. It didn't go as planned. I can't even say as planned,
Mhm.
because I believe all things work together for the good of them that love God and the called according to His
Preach.
purpose.
Okay.
So but I was very intentional with this woman, and I mean, 2 months in, said, "You my wife." She confirmed it. She said, "You are checking off every box. You're speaking my language. Everything that I said I desired in a man, you represent."
Mhm.
And then it went awry. We started going to pre-engagement counseling.
Okay.
And a lot of stuff started surfacing. A lot of her childhood trauma surfaced, and it caused the demise of our relationship.
Mhm.
And so it's not like I go around and be like, "Oh, well, that didn't work out. Now you my wife." You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't, the way I operate is this. I always say I want to go from friend to fiance.
Mhm.
So the way I date is very different. I like fostering a friendship with said woman,
Mhm.
and allowing that transparency, vulnerability, and friendship. Because what happens, I find, when you get in a relationship, when now we are together, there's a shift that happens. Things that you would share with your friends, sometimes you don't feel like you can share with your partner.
Mhm.
So I want to cultivate friendship early on before romance gets introduced to it. So then we have a solid friendship so we can talk about anything. I've interviewed people where they said that, they were married or whatnot, and then they'll be facing an issue and they go, "Can I just talk to my friend today? I don't want to talk to my wife. I want to talk to my friend."
Mhm.
And the reason why they say that is because that friend can be a little more objective and not be emotional about whatever that situation is.
Right, right.
And so that's how I date. And so when God tells me and I feel a connection and confirmation, and I'm having this friend around me and I go, you know what, I want this to be my forever friend, then I will say, I'm gonna shoot my shot and say, I believe you're the woman that I would love to marry. And hopefully that is mutual as we are. And then I believe in dating multiple people. So I tell a woman, you know, date multiple people. I tell them I'm not one of them dudes that's toxic, that be like, I need you not to date nobody. And, you know, when privately I'm dating multiple people.
Hello.
I say, listen, even out the playing field, if I'm not your husband, I want to make sure you have a healthy experience with me so that I get you ready for your husband and vice versa. And I've had those moments before where a woman has said, she was like, you know, while we're dating or whatnot, said, I think I found the one. And I celebrate that, you know, and I'm just grateful that I was a part of that experience to be who was in the Bible? The John the Baptist before Jesus.
Okay.
So
announce the arrival.
Yeah,
Prepare.
Yeah.
The way of the Lord.
Amen. So that's, you know, that's how I look at dating. So when you say find the one, it's like, I can't just go out and just pick one.
But my thing is, it's like, I know so many incredible single.
So what's the missing link?
Like, right.
So when you do go on dates, because you're dating, you're actively
Yes.
dating, do you find something that's commonly like the missing link among women?
I would say the longevity. So when you look at the missing link, if we made it to marriage, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And so the missing link is I show up intentional, we'll date, we'll get to know each other, and whatever happens, happens. Where she may end up meeting somebody, like I've said, that they may meet somebody that says that they feel like is their partner or whatnot. They may end up spinning the block. Some guy that they was in love with back in high school may come back into their life. There's different variations from it. Me, I don't force anything to happen. I just don't force things to happen. I literally submit and say, all right. And the truth be told, once I get it, I'm not one of those people that's going to date you for no 2 years before I figure out. Once we start being friends and fostering that friendship and we can have those real tough conversations, because it's not like we're platonic friends.
Right.
Is that, you know, I'll let you know there's interest there, and then we get a chance to just really, really know each other. I ask some real questions. I ask some deep questions. We're going to uncover all kind of stuff. And then once I feel like you're the person I want to spend my life with, then we move to exclusivity. But I'm telling you, by month 6, we're going to be engaged. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm out here being single and I'm going to get a woman, take her off the market, and we're going to be dating for 2-3 years. What I want is going to happen real fast.
Okay.
So do you feel like because you're saying 6 months.
Yeah,
which,
6 months, you're going to have a ring on your finger.
Oh, okay.
If not before.
But do you feel like that's because of where you are in your life?
I believe I just know what questions to ask.
Okay.
So I always say that I don't try to make that a blanket statement for everybody to say, if you don't know that that's your woman within 6 months, you ain't the right man, and you ain't. No, that's toxic if I even thought like that. Yeah. I'm saying for me, I'm 46 years old. I've been married before. I was married for almost 10 years. I got married at the age of 28. And by almost 40, I was divorced. So some things that I learned, there was some healing, there was some therapy that I went through to know exactly what I desire. And so when I see that, you think I'm gonna let that just sit around? It's not happening.
Okay.
You know, I'm not finna sit there and just leave you out there. Because think about it. I said I believe in dating multiple people. So if you think for a second that I will meet the woman that is, aligned with everything I'm asking God for, and I'm gonna sit there and just let you be on the market as a free agent, ain't happening. You're gonna get drafted.
Lock it down.
That's right.
Sign that contract.
Welcome to death row.
Welcome to death row. I'm trying to put that Super Bowl ring on your finger. So
I know that's right.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about for me. So,
but I guess what I'm just trying to figure out is, why isn't it working? Because I know that
it is working.
Okay, because for everyone that you're meeting, you're getting closer and closer to your
100%
supposed to be with.
And as long as, because the goal for me is to date healthy. So
okay, that's good.
If I've mastered finally getting there, where you can be fully transparent and vulnerable, and having real conversations, not trying to scapegoat different being present in that dealing, whatever that is, to be fully submitted and present to that, then I have successfully dated. Because at the end of the day, everybody isn't my wife. It's one of them. And then as God continues to not only elevate me, but he's always representing me to myself. Because there's certain things that I knew, or I thought that I wanted. Even, prime example, in 2021, I didn't believe in dating someone that didn't live in DFW. I live in Dallas, Fort Worth Metroplex. If you wasn't living there,
that was it.
I wasn't open to it. I remember it was a situation where this woman, this girl I was interested in, lived in Houston. And we started talking, and I said, you live in Houston? I said, I won't date you. You live in Houston. But think about that. That's a 45-minute flight.
Right.
But I didn't think back then, 2021, that I'm only be dating her for so long. We're going to be sharing the same residence if I'm as intentional as I feel like I am.
Right.
So, but in my mind, I had these boundaries in my mind where I was like, no, you long distance, I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you another thing that happened. Because my income has changed since then. Back then, I couldn't afford to date you long distance. We're gonna be on WhatsApp. We're gonna be on we're gonna be on FaceTime, and I don't even have an iPhone. So so you gonna send me a link? Yeah. Go ahead. I need you to fast and pray for that one. And so that's how I looked at it. We're gonna be on Zoom. We're gonna be on something, but I wouldn't even date you long distance because I couldn't even afford to. Now I can actually afford it. So it's like, so my mind has shifted. The way I think and look at dating has changed. The way I look at courtship has changed. The way I look at the timetable to get married has changed. And so as I continue to mature, then the way I see love and dating and that whole process changes with me.
I love that because it's an evolution.
Yes.
And it's a journey, and we learn so much. I know that I'm completely different from 5 years ago. I said the same thing. I can't date long distance. Look at me. Look at me now. Across the country. If you would have told me that 4 years ago, absolutely not.
Way up north.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Things change. You grow, you evolve, and I think that's part of where God needs to get you to. Even just to be open.
Yeah.
It just changes the perspective, your worldview, everything.
Yeah. I think definitely in this time, cutting off, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. And you think that's helping.
It's not.
It's hurting.
It's not.
But then there is a very fine balance, I believe, in like, okay, no, these are my non-negotiables.
Facts.
These are my standards.
But they have to be by core values, though. Sometimes people pick non-negotiables and it'd be like, he got to be 6'5". That's not non-negotiable. And if you think like that, then that's a very surface level non-negotiable. And so what I always talk about, even with myself, is based on core values. I remember at first I was like, I wouldn't even date a woman younger than 35, and I was 42. And I said, 35 is the youngest I go. And then I ended up meeting somebody that was amazing at 31. And so I was like, and I kept saying, you too young, you too young.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but again, I'm sheltering God from fulfilling the purpose in my life, whatever age they're going to be. Now, I still can't go less than 30, but I just can't do that. My daughter's 28, so I can't go less than that. But the reality is I keep confining God. And we can't sit there and say, not my will, but let thy will be done. But it has to be this, and it has to be that, and it has to be this. Then it's really not his will, it's your will.
Right.
Come on.
It's hard to hear the will of God when you
already know
the will of God.
Exactly.
When you've already know what it is for yourself.
Come on.
Hello?
Because a lot of people hear from God these days.
Yeah. Amen.
Can we just stay right there? Hold on.
No, that was so good.
Because now I get it. But then I don't get it. Like, dudes will come up and be like, oh, God told me you're my wife. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
I know. For me alone, he didn't say that.
That's not it. Yeah.
I know.
I've had that happen multiple times. Multiple times. So when you were telling us that you've had women do that, I was like, it's not just us as women. Women are doing that to men.
That is blowing my mind.
Right?
I did an episode with a lady. I did an episode with Chanel Scott, and she talked about how, and I was so happy about her transparency because she talked about how she felt like this particular pastor was her husband. I have another episode that's going to be coming up. I don't know when this is going to drop, but where a woman said, Lala Jenkins said that she thought this man was her husband. And it's interesting because you'll get this thought without getting any type of buy-in from the person that your affection is towards. So oftentimes, the person don't even know you exist.
Hello?
Exactly.
And you're saying, that's my husband. And it's like, how do you expect that to happen? I just believe God is going to talk to him one day and he's going to come to me. It's like, it's just, God is very logical. God, yes, there's faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. But at the end of the day, your husband is going to have to see you at some point.
Right. At some point.
Right.
So you can't be running around talking about somebody as your spouse and they don't even, they haven't even befriended you on Instagram.
Right. Right.
They quite literally don't even know you exist.
No, that just happened to me probably 6 months ago. I'm in a whole relationship. I don't know you.
Hello?
Got my number from somebody else because they saw a picture of me. And when they saw the picture of me, God
That's my
said,
wife.
You're my wife. I'm in a relationship. Did he really tell you that?
Right.
He said that relationship ain't gonna work. He said that relationship ain't gonna work and he's the person.
But it really made me think though, because I'm like, I don't know this person. What if they are kind of like praying against my relationship working? And like it gets really deep when somebody really thinks
and it get really scary.
Yes.
And alarming because at the end of the day, we have to reconcile what I want a person that literally looked at me and said, I know you're my spouse without even having a conversation with me.
Right.
I mean, even Beyonce said you had me at hello. They ain't had you at nothing.
They had you at nothing.
Had you at first sight. Just saw a picture of you.
Yeah.
So it just don't make sense. It's not logical. And so, yeah. But again, and so I have to deal with all that too. I have to deal with the fact when you say, why are you still single or whatnot? And I had to, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I get as frustrated with my singleness as some women do. When they look and be like, oh, you're a single man and all that. I remember this one episode that I did on someone else's platform where I talked about my birthday. Birthdays and Christmas are a reminder of my singleness.
Mm-hmm.
And let me go and throw Valentine's Day in there.
Hello.
So it reminds me, and it's not a fun feeling because I'll sit back and I'll be like, turn another birthday and I'm single.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially I'm getting closer and closer to 50. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, and I've said this oftentimes, I believe, me personally, it becomes a joke at some point, talking about, welcome to the Dear Future Wifey podcast, and it'd be like, boy, you've been saying this for the last 8 years and you ain't found nobody.
Yeah. Present wifey, where's she at?
Yeah.
Hello?
And so I understand that too.
Yeah.
And so I always race against that time, wherever that becomes a quote unquote joke, And so, and then I'm writing letters to my future wifey every episode. So it's only so many letters I want to write.
Hello?
You know what I'm saying? I done wrote almost 200 letters.
Wow.
So at the end of the
a lot
day,
of reading to do.
Hello?
hey, we're going to be married a long time. And so anytime she feels any, question our nuptials, that she'll look back and read a letter and be like, nah, he's prayed for me.
Yeah.
And so that's what that's for. And so, yeah, all that goes into play when talking about or seeing the woman that God has in store for me. It's a journey.
Yeah. It really is. So you actually hit on something good. Going through birthdays or holidays or, Valentine's Day or what have you. Obviously Nia is in a relationship. She's in a healthy relationship, and it's beautiful to watch her go through that. And, we had our show in Atlanta and that went well, but it's like her man was there. Her man has been at our shows and, her man does things and he's very supportive. And she gets to accomplish things. Like there's even some stuff going on in your career, which we still gotta celebrate that. I did not forget. But it's just, you have that support and it's just like, we had the show and I'm like, all righty, y'all want to hug TT?
Yeah.
And it's things like that really bring back that loneliness, and you're faced with it because you're saying you having another birthday without a wife, and it's like it's coming around. I'm having another birthday without a husband, and I'm like, it would be nice to have my plus one and not be talking about Nia.
But you assume that I don't feel those same feelings.
Yeah,
this is very true. This is very true.
You assume because there's options that I still don't have those same feelings.
Yeah.
A lot of times people even say, nah, he loves being single too much. They feel like my brand is wrapped around being single. It's not.
Yeah.
They feel like, well, if he gets married, then he has to dissolve Dear Future Wifey. The truth be told, my original goal was to knight another bachelor so that they could take over Dear Future Wifey and I continue to produce it. I was in talks with a major network and they were going to acquire my podcast, and they said, so what happens if you get married? I said, well, I'm going to knight another bachelor and then they'll take over. They said, hold on, no. Like, if we start working with you and we start pumping all this money and you just gonna leave it? And they said, why don't you just bring her on board? Because I told them I will knight another bachelor and then my wife and I will start another podcast. And they said, why would you just bring her on your podcast and y'all keep on so they can see the journey of when you were single and now you have your wife and you continue doing what you're doing? I said, wow, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Every step of this journey has added a wrinkle to my brain of understanding to say, hey, you don't have to dissolve it, just keep on moving with it. But then people on the outside would be like, he don't want to be married. And I'm like, did y'all not see my Healing from Heartbreak episode?
Yeah.
Like, that was just in January of last year.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like that was 5 years ago. That was last year. We planned on getting married September the 23rd of 2023. So that was a tangible date. It wasn't like, oh, this, I mean, I could see her as my wife in the future. No, it was planned for that. The next month, January the 6th, I went to get a ring, which was already scheduled, custom ring designed for her.
Wow.
Yeah.
If she see this, the first time she heard that. But a custom ring designed for that. And I still met with the people to be like, I don't know what to do, because I ain't finna give y'all this money just yet. So we can just talk about what you came up with. You know what I'm saying? Because it was already been designed. And so people don't realize they can be on the outside looking in and assume all kind of stuff. When I'm traveling, I'm in these beautiful hotel rooms on these islands and doing the podcast in these beautiful islands. I was in Cancun, did a clarity retreat with a lot of my followers. And I was sitting in that room and I was like, now this feels lonely. I'm talking about, my room was beautiful, huge room. Had a big old wraparound balcony with those nice little beds that you can lay out there, a tub on the side. That, man, I was like, what about, it's just me.
Yeah.
And I sat in that room that day and I said, I don't want to take another vacation by myself like this. That's a real emotion.
Yeah,
but people will be thinking like, oh, I bet you was running different women through that bad boy. I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can assume a whole lot, but just ask me, I'll tell you the truth.
That's interesting though, because I've made that assumption about Christian men that are single, like we said, pick one. Because it's so different coming from the Christian woman's perspective. We're looking at lack.
Right.
Can you find one?
Where's one?
Where is one?
Where's
Jerome?
But from our perspective, looking at y'all is like, you have every option available. Short, tall, big, skinny.
You got Brenda, Letitia, Sean, LaShawn, Inez, and Alicia. Like,
pick one, you know? So it's interesting. But I think that you've reached a certain point in maturity where you feel that way.
You want quality.
Yeah.
And you forget that I chose before.
Yeah.
Like, I got married at 28.
Yeah.
Like I'm not one of those guys that's 40-something that's never been married. I've been married. I had kids. I adopted kids. It's all of that comes along with it. So when you're making those decisions, I know what it means to make that decision, and I'm not going to make it a third time because I'm going to choose right the second time. I know I did a whole TED Talk where I talked about the divorce statistics. Second time around is 70%. So if first time marriages, 50% of marriages will end in divorce, and then second time marriages, 70% will end in divorce. You think I'm not going to acknowledge that? Yeah. So that means I'm going to sit back and be like, what happens where people look at people in the face, say these vows, say they love them, say they're going to spend forever with that person, but then put an expiration date on it 2 years later, 3 years later. So I reverse engineered that in my own life, in my own mind, and said, let's have these real conversations early on so that we can know whether or not we're compatible, so we're not wasting each other's time, period.
That's good. That's good. And it's really nice that you said that you're so intentional about dating, because what I face, because you out the race. What I face is intentionality or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I would like to think I actually am very easy to get along with. You know what I mean? And I don't know what it's like to be in a relationship with me. However, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. And because of that, I know that there is work that, like, I'm a prize. And just as much as he is, you know, because he is a prize as well. But it's like, you know, there's some work that's going to be put into me. You can't just get the spoils without spoiling. Hello?
Without spoiling.
Hello?
What does spoiling look like to you?
It does look like thoughtfulness. Okay. It looks like caring.
But it's not a dollar amount. We have to buy you fancy purses and shoes.
No, that's not me as a woman though. Okay. And you can look, you can just like, if you just knew me, That's not me. I enjoy experiences.
Okay.
I'm all for quality time. Now, I like to look nice. I like to put that on.
We say spoiling, though, because sometimes people relegate that to finances, buying you whatever you want.
No.
Okay.
So that's not my thing. Now, do I love gifts? Do I love a generous man? Yes. But again, like we talked about earlier, I have the privilege of dating out of like character, really getting to know you, not out of necessity. Not to say that I don't need my man, because I do.
Yeah.
There are certain things that he can provide that I can't give to myself, that my friends can't give to me. So there is need of you, but I'm not dating out of monetary need.
Yeah.
I'm dating because I really want to get to know you and your character. So you don't have to lead with that. You can use it, but you ain't got to lead with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this question. I got good. What are some things that your man can do for you that your friends can't do for you? Besides the obvious.
So there's a certain type of perspective, and there's a certain type of leadership that a man in my life can take.
Good.
And I can listen to Nia's input on my life all day long, and I can appreciate it and I can take it in. But there's a certain say-so and authority that a man has in my life.
Good.
So I would appreciate that from him, that leadership role, that leadership aspect, me being able to stand down. The only reason why I'm dominant is because I dominate my life outside of Christ. So that's the only reason why I'm, big bad sham.
Yeah.
I would love to be a princess baby angel. Sweet yum yum.
Sweet yum yum.
No, I would love to be that. I enjoy being soft.
That's good.
I enjoy being soft. Baby, I want to turn my brain off. I don't want to think about a thing. I went out to dinner with one of the married couples that I have fun with all the time. And the waiter came and asked her something, and she did the cutest thing. She said, I speak with my husband. I'm not sure. And the way she did it, it was like, my brain to think of that?
Yeah.
Oh, no. My husband will take care of it. And that's exactly how I want to be.
I love that.
Oh, my husband handles it. Not to say that I won't be informed.
Yeah.
Not to say that he won't care for my thoughts or how I see things or how I view things, but no, my man got this. Mm-hmm. What I need to think, baby, you got it. And in that same way, I'm not one of those women who just wants. I desire to serve. I desire to love authentically. I desire to love from a genuine place. It's not coming from, what can I get out of you? Or what, like the way that I take care of you, you're going to want to take care of me. Like it's just this girl treating me like you gonna want to do this. Mm-hmm. You're gonna feel compelled. Like you can't help but to treat me right.
I like that. All right.
Well said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what you end up leaning into is respecting his leadership. Yeah. That's the first thing you said. Mainly the whole thing you said was based on leadership, which is interesting when you talk to a woman like yourself that is doing for yourself and has done for yourself for such a long time. But you said you're doing that because it's out of default. It's like you have to. If you're going to make any decisions and live a life as an adult, you got to make those decisions. Right. But you look forward to being in the position where you can trust that your husband has it all together.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Really I desire to be soft. I'm a soft woman. And the only reason why I'm hard is because I just have to show up and be this way for myself, because I don't need to be taken advantage of in the real world. Yeah. Especially in doing business and, they see a woman, they think, nice. I'm going to just tell it. No. That doesn't sound right.
Right.
Let's renegotiate this.
Right.
Actually, we're not going to do it that way.
Yeah.
You don't think I want to, hold on, my man going to handle this. Because you got me messed up.
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
It really
I remember one time we went on a date to the movies and it was late. We went to one of those movies where you get to order food, right? Mm-hmm. So we ordered our food, but they didn't tell us it was too late to order food. So the food never came. Mm-hmm. I know how he is. So I was like, let me just, I don't want him to get mad or nothing. So I went down there. The man wasn't. I was like, you're going to have to come back up here. I'm going. I went back. We had a gift card. Y'all come back. We got some movie tickets for y'all. What else y'all need? Y'all need something else? Hello? I was like, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Love a man that can handle things.
And the thing is, in that very same way, if somebody would have given him his food and it wouldn't have been right, guess who would have sent it
Hello?
back? My baby didn't order this.
Take that back.
He wanted no onions. And you would have done
I love doing that. I love it.
You would have done it, right. With some couth. Right. Because you're very classy, very cute, very demure.
Very mindful.
Very mindful. Very mindful. Like, you make sure your man is taken care of.
Absolutely.
You do.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just like, y'all don't want this?
Yeah.
Y'all don't.
It takes a certain kind of man, though.
It does.
But do you think that's the problem, that they don't want it?
I think that they don't know how to handle it.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Right. I'm saying sometimes we lament the person that didn't stay, Yeah, that's a good word, ain't it? SAT word. We lament. Yeah, there it is.
Real thing. He reads the vibe.
Yeah, Lamentations. Okay. So we lament the one that didn't stay when God is making room for the person that's going to stay for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And so that's how I look at interactions. I don't have a scarcity mindset. I love hard, and when it's over, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so a lot of times we look at the ones that didn't stay, like even the guys that came into your life.
Yeah.
If I asked you to unpack the trauma that came along with those people, you could reminisce that, probably get mad and be like, gosh, I hated that. But then if I also ask you, but would you have married them? Hindsight being 2020, you'd be like, nah, I wouldn't, nah.
It's the mercy of God.
Exactly. And you'll always say that.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of the day, you're in one breath saying that they didn't recognize you, they didn't see you, and why they didn't blah, 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 blah. But then God shows you, for I know all things work together for the good of them that love God and to the called according to his purpose. And so the reason why it didn't work out is because it wasn't meant to work out.
Right.
I say, listen, I'd rather us break up in the dating phase than to break up in a marriage.
Hello?
So if it ain't meant, that's what I mean. It has to go the long haul.
Yeah.
I can meet you. We have a great experience. Hopefully it's healthy. Hopefully it's reciprocal. Hopefully we add wrinkles to each other's brain about what we truly want or don't want. Mm-hmm. We move on, and then we find that in somebody else.
Yeah.
Period.
But I think the hard part is keeping the faith after the disappointment.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because every disappointment sets you back a little bit more like, okay, is this really going to happen? Because I know my last one, I was like, I didn't need this.
Yeah.
And what I always lean into is where Jesus said, but I pray that your faith fails not. Mm-hmm. Because he knows that we're going to get weary in our well-doing.
Yes.
But he said, in due season, you shall reap if you faint not. And so if I'm having that mentality, because I'm telling you, that heartbreak episode taught me a lot. Because I was sitting there, I was like, now, I was close to perfect in that relationship. I even asked her, I said, what did I do wrong? She said, you did nothing wrong. She said, I've never been loved on this level ever. And I was like, so why didn't that work out? She said, because I'm not ready to receive that kind of love.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, what? I said, the minute I get it right, the minute I do I'm going through counseling, I'm praying, we fasted together. We did all of that.
Yeah.
We were practicing abstinence together. And I'm like, and it still don't work out.
Yeah.
So, man, I'm telling you, I was tore up. Yeah. But after I dried my tears, after I got myself off the floor, because it was that slide down the wall moment that you're talking about. Slid down the wall.
Hello?
Where you crying and you ain't making no sound.
Right.
You hurt real bad.
Dramatic. In the shower going through it.
So I went through all that.
Yeah.
But after I dried up my tears, I said, okay, God, you're still God.
Mm-hmm.
You're still faithful. Mm-hmm. You know the plans that you have for me, plans to prosper me and give me a great future. Yeah. So at the end of the day, either I give up on believing that God is God, and I say, well, ain't another human being on the face of this earth that is worthy to be my wife. That's crazy.
Right.
Or, like Paul says, I endure hardship like a good soldier. Mm-hmm. Hear all that word coming out of
I do.
You see that?
Check.
And so that's the reality. Either I have that mentality or I don't. Yeah. Either I learn how to abase or how to abound. I have to learn how to live.
Learn how to be content.
This is KJV.
I told you it's KJV. That King James. Yeah.
This ain't the NIV. This KJV right here. You say unto.
Like it unto.
Hello?
And so that's the mindset. And so, again, I remember speaking to her, and she was like, Laterras, she said, listen, I don't expect you to wait around. And she said, but listen, she said, you will find somebody else. Mm. And I said, but why can't it be you? Mm. When I tell you I was in that thing.
Yeah.
You ain't got to tell us.
Y'all done saw the whole episode.
We done been there.
And that's the thing about it. But even going through that, I had to be like, okay, it didn't work out. Let me open my heart up again. What happens a lot of times is people close their heart up.
Yeah.
And when you close your heart up, it's almost like saying, God, you can't do this again. And even better. I have an optimistic mindset. When I'm telling you, I look at stuff and I be like, okay, this didn't work out. But God, I believe you can give me greater. God, I believe you. And I just keep leveling up. I do that in every area of my life. And so I've surrendered my love life to God too and said, okay, God, you know who you have destined for me to be with. And I don't believe God chooses your mate, but he gives you enough tools and resources and wisdom on how to choose and select properly when you look at the different suitors. Like if you look at in the Bible, and especially in the Elizabethan times, they would actually, like that word again, see, look at you. They would actually have options, and they'll have 4 or 5 guys to be suitors, and they'll stand there with the father and say, "Hey, I would like to marry your daughter," and they'll read off their resume. "My father is so and so, so and so. I'm the Duchess of this and this and this," and they'll say all this stuff, and then the woman gets to choose. The father talks to him like, "This would be great. We've warred against their family for years. This can bring peace into our land and bring wealth into our country." And they're like, "Okay, all right, so all right, I want you to marry my daughter." And so what happens nowadays in the faith community, women have adopted a scarcity mindset.
Yes.
And I understand it because they're looking at the options and they're looking at what's coming to them and they're looking at how a lot of men are unintentional. But then I always say, stop looking at that. Look at the ones that's also getting married. Look at the women that are still getting married. If it's one person that you saw got married 6 months ago, hold on to the faith of that and be like, "No, I seen you did it for her. You can do it for me." That's and right. Hold on to that.
No respect of a person.
It seemed like he do be respecting people.
It appears that way.
A little bit more.
Just talk about the way it look.
I'm just saying.
He said be respecting people.
Talking about you ain't no respect. No, just a little respect on some people's name, right?
But then sometimes you got to wonder, did they choose? Like you can choose somebody.
Right.
And I say it all the time. I say a lot of women that are single, if they want to get married, they can get married by tomorrow.
This is true.
It's guys that want you, you just don't want.
You don't want them.
And so they're saying the same thing. Those guys are saying, "Man, these women don't want nobody. I done stepped to this woman. I done told her this. I done pursued her. I done told her, but she done friend zoned me. And you done kept him as just your homeboy. And you knew he liked you from day one."
This
Why
is true.
Your voice?
Oh, my bad. You knew he wanted you from day one. You done put him in friend zone. You done friend zone. Is somebody friend zoned in your life? Okay.
You ain't talking about me right now.
If you ain't got to say nothing, just say ouch. But that's what happens. If you want to get married, it's those people. And I always say, sometimes I encourage women to go look at those guys. Yeah. Look at the guys that have been faithful and true. The person that when you go through something, you call them and ask for advice. When your car breaks down, let me go and call Ray to come do this. He's old faithful.
Not Ray.
And he's showing his name Ray. So he's faithful. But you call him all the time.
Yeah.
And he has to watch you get your heart broke by 5 different guys. And he's the person that said, "I will never break your heart if you give me one chance." But you don't want him. For whatever reason. You have a right to not want him.
He be 5'5".
Yeah. And see? I'm talking about the short king.
I mean... Well, some of us are taller than everybody else, so...
Short king or no king?
Exactly. Which one you want?
Are you Joe King?
Are you Joe King? Short king or no king? Are you Joe King?
At this point.
Would you, though? Is a height a deal breaker?
A height is not necessarily a deal breaker. Okay, I'm 5'7".
Okay.
I'm 5. That's taller for a woman. Taller.
Right.
Typically.
And with heels on, you wear heels a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ish, kind of. Not occasionally. When necessary. When the, whatever.
when the outfit requires
if she could put something on.
Yeah.
Okay, just not right now because we sitting down. But, I mean, height isn't like everything to me, but it's something to me.
Is it something?
It's something. Like when I put heels on, I'm closer to 6 foot, if not 6 foot. Now, can I handle it if, with heels on is a little shorter than me? Okay, cool. Stand on your wallet. Hello?
Stand on your wallet.
Talk back if you can. Stand on your character. But the people who go, see, there you go about that money. Now, I just said, like, just relax. Calm down. Like, get your fingers off the keyboard, please.
Oh, they're ready.
Why? But why can he stand on his faith?
Well,
I say amen, say ouch.
Yeah, you can do that too.
See?
You can do that too.
He said you can do that too.
You can do that too. That's a good one. I digress.
So you actually give a guy a chance that's a little shorter than you.
At what height?
This like she said 5'5". She threw that number out there.
5'5"?
No, ain't doing that.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I know I'm not.
Okay, let me see if I can change your mind. He's 5'5". He's extremely handsome. He has treated you better than any man has ever treated you in your life. He prioritizes you in every way. You see him worshiping. He's a tither. He's doing very well financially. He said, "Listen, your money, we don't really need that to change our income. I'll take care of you. I'm old school. We ain't got to do the 50-50 thing. I'll take care of everything, and you can keep your money in your bank account." And he says, "I just want to love you for the rest of your life and show you the value that you have given away to so many men, and I'm going to honor you as a woman of God that you prayed for."
Tell the truth, shake the devil.
5'5". You don't want him.
He don't want to get that
get that knee surgery.
Extension.
So since you got so much money, can you go ahead and lift in your...
Right. I mean...
But think about that.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
No. So, I had to see him.
Tell the truth.
I'd had to... I
The
just...
truth is the truth.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but I really don't want to be as superficial as if genuinely if he's doing all of that. Like, I would feel like I would have to have something built with him before.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. You would have met him at that and then friend zoned him.
Yep.
That's what typically happens.
I mean, okay.
It's just the truth, though.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Like, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
It just...
Yeah. And it's not that...
And the guy that fits all the other stuff that may be 6 foot such and such and whatever going on that you like, you'll give him more grace on dogging you out. Yep, that's what you'll do. You'll give him grace. He'll be dogging you out, keep giving him chance. But he's so fine, girl. He's so fine. Yeah, and you'll deal with that longer than the guy that says, "Listen, my character is way through the roof."
No, Laterras, I run a tight ship.
Okay.
You got one time to play with me.
Not no one time. You're just you're into it one time.
Listen.
One time.
Well, you love somebody, they do not have one time.
Okay, but get there. Say that part. When I'm in love. But if we just, man, look, go on.
Yeah, of course. If you just dating somebody.
We ain't talking about just somebody you met.
Yeah.
I'm talking about somebody that you're into because of all the other superficial stuff that you like. And he still got some other stuff that you may like. Yeah. But he fits the superficial part even more. Because I just gave you all core values in the other one. Yeah. And the one superficial thing of just height, he can't change. But you say, I don't want that. No, he can't. Boy, ain't finna go through no surgery. Get home.
How much do you love me?
And at the end of the day, but that's what ended up happening.
Yeah.
It just happens all the time.
Very true.
And so a dude can't change his height. He can't change that type of stuff, but it's so much emphasis put on that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I have a whole little thing too about finances where a lot of times, especially in social media, there's so much emphasis placed on the man. And that's what I'm saying. We say we want men with emotional intelligence. We want men that loves us and honor God, all that stuff. But what you hear the most on social media ain't the core values. It's saying that he has to look like this, got to be 6 foot this, 6 foot blah, 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 and have all the other little stuff. Yeah. So it's all the superficial stuff. And so for men, the reason why they're reluctant about approaching a lot of women or even going down that route is because if he don't have it going on by what social media standards are, they be like, man, these women don't. That's why, like you said, in y'all DMs and in y'all comment sections, the dudes are triggered and they'll leave comments.
Very triggered.
Even when you're not even talking about it.
Not talking about it at all.
And they'll get triggered.
And the thing is, on our platform, we don't man bash at all. We really do not.
They just see y'all as women.
That's all they see.
And the social media has programmed them to think every woman thinks like that.
But the thing is, you have to think about the type of woman that you're pursuing as well. I'm not like these other women that you may be pursuing. Mm-hmm. I'm not. Like my mind works
through the lens of trauma, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Because even when you come without that, they still expect that or see that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I had a guy who I was really trying to get to know him. I'm asking the questions.
Yeah.
He stopped talking to me because I didn't ask him enough about his career.
Are you for real?
I am dead serious. Am I lying?
She is not. No, it was.
I'm trying to learn about you.
He said because you didn't ask about his career?
Yes.
No, but he was used to women who are blowing up his phone, who have all this rah, 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 rah.
Yes.
She's not like that.
I'm trying to get to know you as a person.
I'm not counting your pocket.
At all.
Is that so? What did he say?
He was very passionate about, he was like in the music industry.
Okay.
He said I wasn't asking him enough about like what he was doing with his music. And
okay.
I'm like, but I was supportive. If he was like, hey, I'm about to have a studio session. Oh, that's awesome. Let me know how it goes, you know? Well, no, I wanted you to be like, you know, what's going on at the studio? Who you gonna be working with? And
mind you,
well,
first of all, she's not gonna know who you're talking about.
Hello? Listen, and I'm talking about 2 weeks in. I'm not talking about, we've been talking for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh.
What are you saying?
No, but here's the thing. Let me tell you what question she was asking. You know, like how are you? What's going on with you personally? Who are you as a man? What do you need help with? Where, like, what are you looking for?
What's your vision in life?
What's your vision? Like, she's asking those questions, but see, the thing about it is he's used to leading with surface level.
Surface level.
Yep. I was just
sabotage the whole thing.
And because she wasn't sending him pictures of bags, like, hey, baby, isn't this so cute? You know, trying to, you know, wiggle a little something out. No, she just actually wants to know, like, what's going on in your head?
Yeah.
How's your mental health doing?
That's good.
He doesn't know how to handle that. And then the same thing when we talked earlier, and I said that I was getting to know somebody, and I could tell that I upset him by something that I said. Abruptly got off the phone with me. I ended up texting, hey, I know when I said X, Y, and Z, that upset you. So let me know what you need right now. Do you need time, space, or do you want to talk about it later?
And then what did I say when you said that?
You asked me, did I really do that?
Because that is the most healthy, the most emotional, intelligent response to ever send somebody.
Because first of all, I'm still getting to know you. So I don't know how you respond in times like this. You might be one of those people, you need to be alone with yourself to think about it. You may need to talk about it, but you don't know if you can talk to me about something. Or you may just want to dead it and it wasn't that big of a deal. You're going to be mad for 5 minutes, but I don't know that yet.
Right.
So I'm communicating so that I could figure you out as a person. So when this happens again, because in the run of a lifetime, I'm going to upset you again.
Yeah.
Not intentionally, but it's going to happen. So I need to know how to govern myself in certain situations. So then when we spoke later on, he told me he thought I was being funny. And I looked at him because in my mind, I'm like, how is me trying to get to know you and be healthy? How am I being funny? But they're not used to it. And when you haven't heard a language before, how can you decipher it?
That's sad.
How do you recognize it?
Like, how do you recognize it?
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was so sad. I felt like my heart went out to that brother that he dealt with such toxicity that healthy looks toxic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Chaos
really was.
is normal.
Hello?
Yeah. It's like
they'll create it.
Funny. You asking me, do I need time? You asking me, you asking me, like, what?
Yes. What do you
You trying to be funny. You trying to be funny. I'm like, I said, did you actually say that? That was beautiful. And you was like, well, let me get to the end of the story. I'm like, hold on. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
So,
and then eventually he apologized for thinking that, but he had to continue to see that I am a genuine person. And I don't have to speak on my own accord. Like, the people around me, they can testify.
But the key that he said, the last woman I dealt with.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's what happens a lot of times. We carry stuff over from the last relationship,
Correct.
the last person that was toxic in our life. And then we just project that on the next person.
Because
we talk about women doing that.
Yeah.
But men do it too.
All the time.
Right.
Men are humans too.
Because I think that whenever
we be catching all the flack.
Hello?
Yeah.
It's like being a great woman in this day and age, it's hard out here. It's hard.
It's like, you don't want me to be great.
Right. It's like, if I got it on my own, you got it on your own, so you ain't gonna need
too independent.
You think that you got it, you think you equal with
need
me.
A man.
So, mind you, I was getting to know an older man.
No, how I want to hear this voice. So is this, how old is this gentleman? Voice? He sound like he a slave or something.
Not a slave.
Like he was Kunta Kinte.
That's how they be sounding. Okay.
Roots.
Right. That's how they
the
sound.
Lost edition.
I'm trying to talk to you about, like what my dating style is and this and that. And he gonna ask me, so what you think you the same as a man? I never said that.
Hearing through trauma, seeing through trauma.
What did you say when you say that?
Maybe we were talking. I told you how I don't necessarily date out of necessity. I date to get to actually know the person. I have that luxury. And I was like, because I have the same things that you have, so I'm able to get to know you so you don't have to. He was like, what, you think you equal to a man? When did I even say that? He's like, you ever been with a king before?
You're not one.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. And I'm not about to start now.
You may see this episode. So be gentle.
No, because don't. And then, bless his little heart. He called himself trying to teach me a lesson one day. Oh, baby, I'm not in the classroom.
What did he try to teach you?
So I don't like texting very much. I'll hold a text conversation with you, but I love in person and I love being
picking
on
up the phone.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, especially if we can't like be together. I want to FaceTime. I want to feel connected. And texting is cool, but I don't like having conversations via text outside of something just quick. So I shared that with him. He was like, okay, well, I'm only going to text message you 2 and 3 word sentences from now on and da-da-da-da. So the next day he did that. And I told him, I was like, oh, you're being funny. Don't do that. And he thought I was joking. So I didn't talk to him for the rest of the day because this is what you want to do. Don't be petty with me like that. I don't even like you yet.
Right.
That's another thing. If I don't like you, you have zero grace with me.
Right.
So you already have this much wiggle room to work with. So then he did that. And then when we talked later on, I think maybe the next day or something, he was like, yeah, I had to teach you a lesson. You did what?
Teach a lesson.
Oh, baby, I'm not that one.
No.
I'm not. That's not who I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's not who I am.
But he was also throwing that money around too.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, they be
He
thinking. They be thinking.
He was not. He wasn't. Look.
He
What?
fly you out. Yeah.
Oh, was that? So he was getting flued out?
No, I was not. No, it didn't get there. It didn't get there.
It didn't make it there?
No. But see, that's the thing. Like, just because you have that don't mean I'm finna deal with you.
Yep.
Right.
And a lot of times when they run into a woman who's like that, oh, wait, I can't, just because I'm doing X, Y, and Z, I can't get away with this.
Yep.
No, you cannot. So when I say I run a tight ship, or when I say you're going to have to put in work, I'm not like everybody else. You can't buy me.
Right.
You can be nice to me. You can show your gratitude. But that's not what's going to get me. What's going to get me is how you treat me.
Yeah.
Who you are as a person. Do you follow through on what you say? Are you a man of your word? Can I count on you?
Mm-hmm.
How do you talk to me? Are you going to raise your voice? Because you have to speak to me. You have to speak to me sweetly. Even if you have to tell me something, you can talk to me. We can be open. We can be vulnerable. You can be raw with me. But just say it. Just be sweet with me.
Yeah.
Be right with me. Don't raise your voice. I didn't grow up in a household where my daddy raised his voice.
Have you ever been in a relationship where a man loved you properly, but it just didn't work out?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I just want to know if you had the experience of someone actually treating you well.
So, yes, I have. Two things can be true at one time. I'll say this. Because of the woman that I am and who I've been in my life, the men that I have been with, as far as their treatment of me, has been on point. Now, did they have character flaws or character improvements? Yes. But how I carry myself, you already know how you got to come at me. So you're not going to, just be acting all crazy thinking I'm going to go for it, because that's not going to happen. I don't carry myself like you can play with me. And they know that. So they may end up doing something that I don't approve of or that I don't like or I find to be disrespectful, and then we part ways. But to say, like, my treatment, I've only been in one abusive relationship before.
Okay.
Outside of that, things just didn't work out naturally or whatever the case may be.
Sorry you experienced an abusive relationship.
Yeah, me too. But, it is what it is. I've grown from it. And I hate that I did experience it, but it helped me to be less green. Mm-hmm. It definitely helped me to be less green.
Outfit, pun intended.
I am really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying this talk, y'all. First of all, I didn't realize that I was blending in with the chair.
Yeah, so just a little bit.
Let's, I'm the chair's accessory today. I think I'm doing a great job.
Color block with the chair. So what else? What y'all want to talk about? I'm an open book. What you want to ask me?
Let me see.
So in your dating life now, how do you meet women?
Right.
I meet women through various means. Most of the time on social media. My Instagram be popping.
I bet.
No, are you sliding? Are you sliding?
Yeah, I will. Like what happens is this. Okay, so it's a quote I say: men should pursue and not persuade. Yes. A woman should present and not pursue. Mm-hmm. So the way a woman gets my attention, of course, I have a huge platform. So it's like 9 times out of 10, they're going to make themselves known to me. So they may like a comment, say something, leave a comment under a video or a post. They may DM me and say, hey, Laterras, I love the episode you just did with Nona Jones and this, or strike up a conversation. I'm going to automatically go jump on their page. I'm going to go look, be like, all right, let me look at the picture, see if the consistency and cuteness All right.
Consistency.
You got to be consistently cute.
Hello?
You know, because you be looking at filter, you be like, oh, that's a filter, that's a filter, that's a filter. So I start looking at all the little stuff, and then I go, and I'm the person, because I'm a sapiosexual, I'm going to read the caption.
Okay.
So I'm going to go look. I don't care about the photos. I look like, that's cute. Now let me read what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Let's see what she's saying in this photo. And then I'll read that. I'll go click on their story, see what they're posting, see what they're doing every day. I just want to get into her mindset to see what does she find important to post. Because you have all these things you can post throughout the day, but you chose to post that day. I'm gonna see if you posting every single day, multiple times a day, or if you post once a week or whatever. I'm just looking at trends, and I go, okay. Then I'll respond back to you and be like, hey. And I'll start creating a conversation. I'll start talking to you in the DMs for a while. It may be a few days. It may be a few weeks. It may be months before I even ask for your phone number. And then before I even ask for your phone number, I'm going to call you on that free feature on IG, which is the audio. So I'm going to call you on audio. I'm going to ask you, hey, do you mind if I call you on IG audio? They're like, oh, no, go, sure. And then I'm going to talk to you on IG audio. Then it'll elevate to, can I call you on IG video? And then I'm going to see if what I'm hearing is what I'm seeing, and seeing and hearing, if that's matching in line. So I'll do that. Yeah. And then I'll be like, okay, cool. Now, sometimes that process is expedited quickly, where it may end up taking 3 days. Sometimes it may be like, it'd be a whole year, and I ain't talked to you on the phone, I ain't got your phone number, nothing, because I'm just not that interested in you like that.
Yeah.
And so I just let it naturally progress to whatever that is. And then, you know, I'm going to get an in-person meeting where we're going to go get something to eat. Keep it real chill.
What?
I said, get something to eat. We're going to get something to eat, chop it up, and keep it real. Again, friendly.
Yeah.
My whole thing is I just want to be able to laugh with my person. I want to see what type of personality do you have? Are you really serious and quote unquote stuck up, or are you really reserved or conservative and all that? That's not going to work with me. You know, I need somebody that loves to laugh, joke back with me, say something, you know. I love that. I love that banter.
Yeah.
So that's a turn on for me. We can go tit for tat and say those stuff and be smart and show our being sarcastic and all that. I love all that. And so that will evolve into something more. And so I'll meet you most of the time on social media. I'm trying to see, have I met anybody face to face? Because unfortunately, I'm not the type of guy that if I'm walking in the mall, I ain't finna walk up to a woman and holler at her. I said on one of my episodes, I said, I'm going to overcome that fear one day and just walk up to a woman and say that. I said I was going to do that in 2022. It didn't happen. But, you know, I was going to just walk up to a woman and be like, hey, see, I don't know the next word to say. But the reality is, I want to do that because I have homeboys that they shooters. But when I say they don't care, but even if they go holler at a woman and bring like their friends to the table, then I'm gonna talk then. You know, I can talk to you once you come over there, but just to go walk over there and throw my reel out there and be like, you know, because I'm judging straight by physical at that point. And so I'd be like, what if I talk to her and I don't really like her because she this? Or what if, you know, I'm judging that before even saying hello. And so it's so crazy. So that's one of my things, is that I'm going to overcome that by the end of this year.
Okay. So do you have your friends, like when I go out with Nia, like I am such a friendly person. I'm talkative. Like I just completely miss when somebody is flirting with me. Like I'm so bad with that. And she'd be like, friend, what you get it together? Like, come on, man.
I just did it today.
She did.
What are you doing?
And I was like, what?
What happened? Who win? Where? What happened?
And I'm just walking through. Because for me, it takes being direct with me for me to be like, that's okay. You like me.
It's me that you like.
Right. You want a date.
Both us together.
I'm off on Friday. I don't, what do I do with my hands? It's just, but somebody could be like putting their best mag down. And I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I'm just completely missing it. Or like, we'll be walking together. I think when we went to Essence, we were in the elevator with a guy. And was he saying something to me, or you wanted me to say something to him? Or what was it?
I wanted you to say something to him. So I sparked up conversation. And I was like, oh yeah, and then she does this too. And I was like, yeah, friend, right?
Yeah, I do what she says. That is exactly what happens.
When I do it.
Do you breathe air? But then there are other times when I can like turn it on. Like I'm really, really nice with it. Like I'm really smooth. So it just depends. And it's I don't even know when it happens. Like it'll happen naturally, but also
you have to carry that mindset with you, though. But then there's like a delicate balance, because I hate it when I was single and it's like, that's all I thought about every time I went out. He might be out here. I need to be ready. I need to look right. Who is here? Am I looking right?
But that's what we're taught.
Yeah, and it's a delicate balance. You still have to be aware. You still have to be aware, though.
Yeah. No, but that's what we were taught, because we always talk about how we're taught to present ourselves a certain type of way, not to have too many opinions, to find ourselves serving in church, to not be active participants in dating, because he's going to come find you. He who findeth the wife. You know what I'm saying? Like they're always throwing that scripture and not allowing us to be active participants in our dating lives. Then you find yourself as a 40-year-old woman or 50-year-old woman still practicing abstinence because you done got so cuckoo cocoa puffs in the head, you've lost touch with reality.
Don't know how to talk to men. Don't know how to. Yeah.
You've been wearing your purity ring for the last 25 years, so people think this is already locked down anyway.
Right.
So it don't matter if you going to the gym, looking good and doing this and doing that. They think you already married because you got this big old rock on your finger whole time. It's for purity.
Right. So you tell me they taught y'all to put it on your wedding finger?
Absolutely.
Yes. Because you're married to God.
The right man will know.
The right man will know.
The right man will know what? That you're not married?
Right.
Correct.
You see how crazy this is?
You're going to have the spirit of discernment to be like, that ring doesn't mean what I think it means.
Exactly.
That's a purity ring and you're waiting for me.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
Your Boaz.
Exactly.
No, that's 100% it.
And it sounded so good at the time.
No, I mean, we're taking notes.
No.
This is good information.
This with my whole heart.
Oh my God. This could only be right.
And then I would think that a man trying to holler at a woman with a ring on her finger is the type of dude that will holler at a married woman. So that don't even make sense to me. Like, in the logic, the way my brain is set up, that don't even make sense. If I see a woman with a ring on her finger, I just keep...
She's not an option.
I'm not going to ask her, is that a purity ring? God is telling me if that's not... Because if it was a wedding ring, it would look different than that. That is a purity ring.
Mind you, I know some women got iced out purity rings, and I'm like, y'all are...
I didn't have mine iced out, but I wore it on my wedding ring finger.
Yeah,
on your wedding ring finger.
Sure did.
I had me a little purity
for a couple
ring.
years.
What happened to it?
Ain't no telling where mine at.
Took it off. I was still remaining pure.
Throw it away.
Hello, come get me.
You wouldn't put it on your other hand?
I would. I'd be
don't
so
wear it. At first glance, I don't even think anybody really thinks about it. I wouldn't wear nothing on that finger.
Right.
Nowhere.
I wear every ring
on every finger.
Thumb. I don't want to confuse you. I'm single. I'm still single.
And don't let me be outside with like one of my homeboys or something. I'm not with this man. I don't want him. Hello, I don't want him.
Why you gotta look so angry with him? I don't want him.
I don't want this one. Come get me.
So you feel like, the purity culture did women a disservice.
Absolutely.
Because of what could have been tweaked in that?
Everything. First and foremost, it could have been taught to both sides.
Yeah.
That's the truth, right?
That's very true. And then also I feel like it made the goal purity.
Right.
And not the goal marriage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now we in a race to see who can hold out the longest.
Yeah. Hello?
I want to get married. I don't want to be in this race.
Hello?
I don't want to be here.
That is true. Because it'd be like, you be holding it as a badge of honor. Like, I've been abstinent for 7 years.
Yeah. It's like a trophy.
Yeah. I don't want it anymore.
I don't want it.
At all, please.
You can have it.
Okay. I don't want to play the game no more.
On a private island.
Hello? Yeah. No, it's not the goal. It's not the goal.
It's not like that.
So y'all felt like that. So when y'all started that, how old were y'all? Were this like teenagers or something, or in y'all 20s?
I was a teenager.
So I had my first time when I was in college. But then shortly thereafter, I was like, oh, yeah, no, I can't do this.
So I'm talking about the purity culture thing.
That was like when I was a kid.
I would say teenagers through 20s.
And then when did y'all abandon that ideology, though? Because you still said that y'all were practicing abstinence at some season, and you said you're still practicing abstinence. Yeah. But when did you just say, whatever this is, don't make sense?
When I woke up. No, one day I woke up.
Like 28, maybe.
She said when she woke up.
My frontal lobe, it didn't develop.
Yeah, it's like you're in a fog. You're in a fog. But it was me like getting older and older, like, well, wait a minute.
But it's funny.
Y'all
You
said
when I woke up.
You just wake up one day with some sense.
Okay, so what? Explain
it's a
that.
fog.
So you was about to say something. What were you saying?
No, I was saying like, because I feel like I wanted to get married. And so as I'm getting older and older, I'm like, wait a minute, y'all said if I did this, I was gonna get married. And the time is just passing. Something 1 + 1 is like equaling 2.
Math is not.
Because I did what y'all had said to do. And I'm 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32,
33.
Come on.
34.
There's no goal for this.
And then it's like they hear you, oh yeah, you've been abstinent X amount of years. And it's
cheer you on. Keep going.
You about to cuss.
This is not
the goal.
I don't want to keep doing this.
Right.
This is a means to an end.
It should end.
This has an expiration date.
It should end.
It should end.
But then also getting older as a woman, like your drive and stuff changes. And it's like, wait, I'm not supposed to be abstinent at this age. Biologically.
I say that to people all the time, but they don't understand.
Biologically.
I say, why would God... So this is what I said. I'm still unpacking this whole theory.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Me too.
I agree.
How old were y'all when y'all went through puberty?
Oh, shoot.
12.
Most times
11.
about 12.
12, 11.
So around 10 to 12. At that age, they said you are now a woman. You can have a child.
Correct.
Why would God say you can do that at 12, but then you at 34, 40 years old expect it to be abstinent?
Hello?
God don't ever do that's a non-productive God. That's the cursed fig tree that ain't bearing fruit in season.
Come on.
So he doesn't do anything like that. And so when we talk about this, oh, you abstinence, you 40 years old and that's supposed to be great. No, there's been a failure along the way.
Hello?
Because you're about to speak to your OG, what is it?
OGBYN?
Yeah, OGB. No, OBGYN.
You right.
Yeah,
I'm like,
OG. That's my hood day. I'm about to C-walk. So OBGYN at 35, and they say, listen, let's have a conversation. Like, what? So what we doing here?
Yeah.
They ain't got nothing to do with the Holy Spirit. Ain't got nothing to do with God. Don't have to do nothing with this purity stuff. They saying, if you want to have kids,
biology.
Man, God put a biological clock in your body that at some point is going to stop ticking and you can't have kids no more. So then I talk to a lot of women and say, well, now I got to go freeze my eggs. So now you're taking science in your hands, which I totally support. But the reality is you're still buying time when God put it inside of you to say, you got to work out whatever that is between this time from 12 years old to 35 when the doctor starts knocking on your door and you about to approach 40 to say, are we going to have these kids or not?
Yeah.
Period. And it's based upon the psychology of whatever that is that you were taught that's making you prolong it, making you put career over family, whatever that is, making you think the way you think that makes you not marketable in the dating landscape. Period. Because it's all about marketability. It's like, what is happening in this thing? And I'm glad y'all unpacked that because, of course, I don't know what y'all been told. I didn't know. It was something that you said. I was like, what? Y'all told that? That y'all don't supposed to take...
your dating life in your hands.
Yeah, be an active participant in your dating life. That y'all just supposed to sit back and just be found.
Yes.
Be found.
So what is taking... I'm trying not to interview y'all. What does that look like? Are y'all not... Or y'all taught that y'all can't even...
Serve in church and he will find you.
Right.
So that's it. Y'all can't...
Serve in church.
Yeah, serve.
And he will find you.
So were y'all taught to actually date or y'all only find the one that comes?
Serve in church.
And he will find you.
So it's the one that finds you and say, you're going to marry me.
In your house church.
Mm-hmm.
It's 10 members.
Hello?
8 of them are married to each other. And
the rest are children.
Left.
The rest are children.
Hello? Your spouse hasn't been born yet.
Seriously.
Or they still got a sippy cup. You gotta wait.
Yeah.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. So your spouse ain't been born yet.
Hello?
Because you gotta serve at this church. God forbid. You go to a mega church.
But it's built off of single women.
Hello? The church is built from single women's labor.
It is.
And then when they're done using you, get a husband now. I'm sorry, all of them are taken.
They don't want me because all I know is church.
Hello? Huh? Now because I've gotten weird now, all I know is how to quote scripture.
Because I was here on Wednesday and I was here on Friday and I was here on Saturday and I was here on Sunday.
Yeah. Just full. Just spilling over in the Holy Ghost.
Right.
Did you say I got weird? All I know I do is quote scripture.
Yes. No, okay.
We said that. We had a reel that went viral.
Let me tell you something. when I really because I still love God.
Yeah.
Because I was super zealous when I first got saved. I mean, just full of zeal. And I had this genius idea. Go look at your DMs. Just go see how you were talking back then.
Mm-hmm.
Guys would DM me because you see the material. Like somebody gonna say something. I'm looking back at my DMs. A guy would just message me and be like, "Hey, how are you doing today?" I'd be like,
blessed and highly favored, walking in God's
hello? Or then I'll fool around and ask him, do you know what you're called to in the fivefold? Do you know what your spiritual gifts are? Where's my phone? I don't have my phone on me. I don't have my phone on me. When we leave out of here,
you said what you called to in the fivefold business?
Like, do you know what you're doing in ministry? Do you serve in a church?
Because he got to lead you spiritually, honey.
Hello? Mm-hmm. And then that's another thing.
How old were you during this time? Like 23?
Yeah, 24, 25. 7.
From the initial DM, that's your response.
I wish I just had my phone. I tell you a joke, it ain't gonna be no lie. Tell you a joke, never a lie.
It's true.
And then if he finally makes it through that round, now I will say this: at one of the churches, I used to be a pastor.
Oh, you did?
So, yeah. So at one of the churches, I was one of the pastors who was I wasn't the founding pastor, but I would be the pastor over social culture and the media. So that was my thing. And because of that, obviously I know some stuff in the Word. I'm baptized in the Holy Ghost. I got the evidence.
Yeah,
there's evidence. There's fruit. Outside, baby, I can prophesy sometimes. I give you a dream of word of knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Got a rhema word for you.
So with that, not every man that I run across I don't want to say credentials. I don't want to say that. They don't have all the evidence, or they don't have all the. They know God, but maybe just not like me. It may not be as deep as me.
Right.
I was taught he needs to be deep as you or deeper than you.
Yeah.
And it did get very frustrating when I would meet a guy and I would put my cape on and try to help you be more saved. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't their fault.
Evangelism.
I'm just trying to make sure that, we're as equally yoked as we can be, because I'm trying to do this principle. I'm trying to live out these biblical principles, and I'm trying to, do right and have a good man. But it's you ain't been baptized, you ain't been filled yet, but you're still going to service.
Or not.
Or not. But you have a relationship on your own and you're reading your word. So we're taught that if they don't look like you spiritually, that ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know how many men are in the church today? Do you know how many men who are in the church today who want you?
Hello?
How many men who are in the church today who want you and look good to you?
Mm-hmm.
How many men who are in the church today who look good to you and you look good back to him and he wants you and only you, and then he's black.
And he's straight.
He want your kind.
Almost hit him.
You gotta want your kind.
Do he want you? Come on now.
Don't want your kind.
Do we want your kind? And it's, hey, baby, get it how you live. We all got the answer for our own things. But as for me and my house, do you want me and only me? Do you like me and only me and my parts?
Mm-hmm.
Because I want you to like my parts.
You want your parts.
I want your parts. I want all of your parts. In covenant. Let me say that, in covenant,
The disclaimer, in covenant.
Right, in covenant. I don't want you being ooh.
Yeah.
I go to kiss you, ooh. Or you move away. I want you to be girl, why you not on me right now? I'm trying to pass by you. Okay, hold on. It's not that video. I'm just saying, I need to know that you like it.
So y'all had a video that went viral of talking about what? About y'all was talking about what?
Oh, purity culture.
Oh.
Yes, and I said on there, purity culture made women weird.
You did.
It did.
100%.
We're just totally disconnected from reality.
Yeah.
Church is everything.
Yes.
I couldn't have a conversation outside of the word.
So you was the same way as her?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably worse.
First of all, when she and I first became friends, we were trying to see, because we were both, we're saved. Just say that.
We are saved.
We are saved,
contrary to popular belief.
Sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, okay? However, comma. But and also. I wouldn't want to say certain things because I wouldn't want her to think that I'm not as safe.
As she is.
And I did the same thing.
And she did the same thing to me until it's like one day I might, slide a little something and she, laughing. Okay, she laughing. She laughing. So I can do a little jokey joke.
Right.
She might send me something and then, you laughing.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
We had to fill each other out. Like, wait, because I thought she was saved. Like, what? She had a 5 a.m. prayer. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
She Bible study.
I'm
she
doing
a pastor.
my prayer
I was like,
calls.
oh, I can't.
I'm hosting Bible studies. I'm doing the thing.
Yes. And I came out a little earlier than you did.
You did.
So I was just like, ooh, she real saved. Ooh, I don't know if I can. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I kept it real cool, real clean, real cool.
Getting Shirley Temples when we go out. Then all of a sudden one day, let me get a mojito. And you could use the what is it? What's in there?
I don't know.
Okay. But yeah,
you asking me like I be drinking.
But then it's like we start doing stuff and it's like, okay, so you didn't flinch. All right, cool. You not an op. Got it.
You not an op.
Yeah.
No, because it's like there's
that is
certain.
so true.
We
though.
bonded
That
because
is so true.
We bonded over that.
Other.
Yeah.
We got each other. I didn't have to when we first became cool. After we got through that initial part, I just finally got somebody who understood exactly where I was because most of my friends were married or they were still super saved. And when I say super saved, they're just in a different part of their spiritual journey than I was.
Yeah.
So when I say that, that's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
But it's like she just got it. She understood what it was like dating guys right now, or especially right then. She just understood how I felt as a woman because we were just talking about biologically how your body is supposed to be doing this and doing that. I feel like a werewolf. I need to be locked up during ovulation.
Yeah.
Like,
and nobody talking about that kind of stuff.
Nobody is telling y'all.
Nobody's talking about it.
I thought I was crazy. No, you need to pray about that.
Okay, you need to fast. You need to fast and pray.
Man, this libido working. Hey, look, I need this.
Yeah.
And people, that's what I'm saying. We demonize our bodies, the gift that God gave us, and we start saying that we're rebuking our own natural desires.
I'm saying.
That doesn't even make sense.
And I was trying to explain to somebody, it's not a switch that you just flip on. Like, we've been saying no for so long.
Yeah.
When you finally can say, yes, we have women in our DMs.
Me too.
Married.
That were
struggling.
Yes. I've talked to couples, I'm glad you brought that up. I've talked to couples who were abstinent or virgins or whatever it was. Most of the time it's people that's been abstinent for so many years and then they get married and they won't let their spouse see them naked. They forget to even have sexual intercourse. They just be like, and they struggle with it. And they be like, it's just, and I'm like, wow, it's sad because now they need sexual therapy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a lot that goes in that. And that's why I love conversations like this because these conversations couldn't be had back in the day. They couldn't, they wouldn't. They'd be like, see, that's the devil. The devil talking to the three right there.
I knew they wasn't saved. Especially that
worldly.
She got
just worldly.
Got her arms out.
Right.
Both of them got their arms out.
And they wearing pants.
Tempting the man of God with their arms. I'm like, what?
Hello.
I'm like, I ain't never looked at a woman.
How about the man of God have self-control? How about that?
Modesty is a whole new thing. My
how you into arms? What is about an arm that you like?
I'm like, girl, that arm.
No,
I was practicing abstinence, but I saw your arm.
Man.
I'm about to stumble.
That was too much.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, to have normalized conversations like this where we can actually talk about it because a lot of people struggling, like you just said, I hear that a lot from my friends who that time of the month, their body is raging. You know what I'm saying? But then if you're talking to the wrong person, they like, you need to pray that away.
You need to fast.
You need to pray, you need to fast that. That's a succubus spirit.
Spirit of lust.
Shoot.
Yeah.
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 I almost said something.
Hey, man. They know that TT.
No. We got to talk about it, man.
No, we really do.
Because it's real.
And I really love how you're on here and we're able to get your perspective. Because, matter of fact, let me ask you that. So, as a man who is practicing abstinence.
Yeah, I'll be off and on. I'm on again.
You on again?
You on right now. Okay, that's all that matters.
Okay, hey.
Yeah.
Get how you live.
Yeah. Amen.
So when you meet a woman and she lets you know that you're abstinent, lets you know that she's abstinent, are you like, okay, we can both do this? And then what happens when you meet a woman who isn't abstinent, but you are? Are you more susceptible to be off when you're not with somebody who's on?
To a certain degree, because I've had variations of that throughout the journey. I've had it where women that were on that, it does make it where we chilling. But then the other part about it is because we're both on, we we don't have as many boundaries because we don't have a fear of falling, and then we end up getting to touching each other, and we might not go all the way, but we done did some oral situations going on. You know what I'm saying? So you may have that, or you may have the situations I've had where I was abstinent, and I'll meet a woman that isn't. She's like, listen, you gonna have to. Ain't no way I could be with you and get married if I don't know if it worked. Like, we're going to have to do something. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to test drive this thing, whatever. And I'd be like, wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I respect the honesty. So me, I just respect honesty, however it's going to go. And so it's been times where, I'll be like, oh, no. And there's been other times in my abstinence journey where I was like, all right, let's go and see what's going, let's see what's popping. So it's that journey. Now I've just shifted my mindset around it because I don't think it's based upon just abstinence. Don't have sex with somebody. I think it's more of the heart posture of why am I being abstinent? Because a lot of times people be like, having sex outside of out of wedlock is a sin. That don't stop people from sinning. No. But if I make it a part of my core value to say I don't want to share that part of my body with a random person or somebody that I'm not spending forever with, then I have a different conviction behind it. Yeah. Because I'm not convicted by it from a standpoint of, because the Bible said, this. Because I look at that and be like, sexual immorality doesn't mean that you're just having sex outside of marriage. That's not what he was talking about. Because if that was the case, then they couldn't have a bunch of concubines. They had wives and concubines. So it's like, go and explain that. And then David is called a man after God's own heart. But he had wives and concubines. And so it's a whole lot of things that even when the woman at the well, Jesus said, no, you had many husbands. That's because she wasn't married to nobody. Yeah. She was just a woman that was, sleeping with different folks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff that we need to unpack in that. But when it comes to me from a core value standpoint, I know that I have to operate in a level of discipline in that area of my life where I didn't operate like that before, because I have to kill that spirit before I say I do. Because the reality was I didn't kill that in the past, and it showed up as infidelity in my marriage. It showed up where, when things weren't going the way I wanted, I went externally for something I should have been seeking internally, whether internally within my marriage or internally within me and God. And neither of those things were adhered to. So now I'm operating in the lowest version of myself, stepping outside of my marriage. And so now when I look back at it at 46 years of age, I look back and say, where did I go wrong? Let's reverse engineer this. And that abstinence speech didn't work for me. That don't work. It don't make sense to me. People can say it. They say it all the time. Well, the Bible says, and I'll be like, And I just listen. I'll be like, it doesn't resonate with me. Yeah. And so now I found a different way to have what God's word says resonate with me on the level that identifies with my spirit, that makes me be able to say, okay, I think I can do this. And I believe, and I'm going to keep operating in the level of discipline until I say I do.
That's really good.
Yeah. But I know that a key point that I'm thinking about now, even in my journey, is abstinence isn't, like you said, just about not sleeping with somebody. That is a discipline that helps you, because it's not you're abstaining for your spouse, but then you also, in marriage, you abstain from others. Then you're practicing for one person in the beginning, and then for all others. I never looked at it like that. In the end,
for one person, that's powerful. For one person at the beginning, and then for all others while you're married.
Because, like you said, I'm upset. Oh, I ain't upset at her. Hello? Yeah. She gonna do that thing I like. You mad? You ain't gonna do it. So you know what I'm saying? You really have to think about that. So even when I think about my own journey, I'm doing this to work out discipline, not only in myself, but for my future self, for my future spouse. You know what I mean? And then that discipline carries on to other areas of my life. When you deny yourself of certain things, you are practicing that. You're practicing that. So when you take that into your life, and when you just really like shift your perspective and think about, why am I doing this? What is this for? That should absolutely be one of your reasons. Also, I don't want everybody saying they had me.
Facts.
I don't want you to have a piece of me.
You don't deserve it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk into a room and you know what I look like. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't know. You can't tell me what I am.
Yeah.
Come on.
Exclusivity.
Hello?
For real. Amen. Yeah. Amen. Amen. Let the church say amen.
Okay, talk back if you can.
Yeah, but that's the reality. So it's that thing, but to uncover what that whole journey looks like and what that means, and how it was some erroneous teachings that we were taught, and that's why it hasn't worked successfully. Where you have the same time they were teaching purity culture, girl done got pregnant at 16 in the church. You know what I'm saying? You done hit her, told her don't come back to church. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta stand before the church.
Stand before the. Oh yeah, that's the old school.
Gotta stand. I'm sorry, I got pregnant, y'all. But where's the baby daddy at? Y'all ain't making him stay. He the drummer.
Yeah.
Huh?
The pastor.
That's the pastor, baby. The pastor, your daddy. Anyway, moving on. Come on. Y'all not gonna. The church is very quiet right now.
Oh God. She said he's a drummer. Why the drummers always get picked on?
No, because the drummer should be picked on. They're horrible people. No,
Don't say that.
I'm joking, guys. I'm so joking. A drummer did not break my heart. He was the pianist.
Pun intended. And so the reality is, I love these conversations because I love that as Christians, we can have these conversations.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the world be looking at us like we just aloof on certain, another good word, aloof on certain topics because we just don't have the brevity to even speak about it.
Yeah.
And so like even what she was saying is like saying we're weird. So which one of y'all said that in the viral reel about we Christian weird? Yeah. About being weird is
Yeah.
And I was like, they did.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna always be your amen corner. I was head weirdo.
That was like season 1.
She said head weirdo.
What's the call of God on your life? I asked you what time it was.
Yeah, I taught purity class. I sure did. I had conferences. Purity conference.
How old were you when you were doing that?
Ooh, 25.
You were young.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I went to Atlanta for a conference, a purity conference. So from Texas, I went to Atlanta for a purity conference. I met a young lady who was hosting a Bible study for that particular ministry in Houston. I met her in Atlanta, which she was going to that. So she and I met each other in passing because of a purity movement.
Yeah.
A purity movement.
Yep.
The pinky promises and all this stuff.
You know, some people make promises
with their
pinky.
I might have made a promise too,
you know,
in my lifetime.
With
a pinky.
Yeah. You know.
And I might have purchased books, gone to conferences for several years.
Several years.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of people talk about the anger from that. Mm-hmm. But why do you think there's anger in it? What do you feel like? So let's talk about the positive from it. What do you believe was the positive takeaway from those type of classes that you taught? You taught these classes. And they were biblically based, correct? So what is the takeaway to say, now this right here was right?
Valuing yourself. You say nothing.
I got nothing.
No, I think that the essence of valuing yourself is fine.
You can't say nothing if you're practicing abstinence now.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. She talking. We'll get back to me.
The essence that's rooted in your self-esteem and your confidence, knowing that you are somebody, you're valuable. You shouldn't let just anybody have you. They need to earn or, deserve or be in relationship with you versus everybody get access.
What was the little illustration they did with that? They would take this, what was
candy bar?
Yeah.
And pass it around and get all melty and stuff. Now this is you, a melted candy bar.
I did it at my conference. I had the $1.
Yeah, the $1.
And you step on it and wrinkle it up and what is it worth now?
What is it worth now? It still gets spent
same amount.
Same $1, still worth $1.
Hello? A rose is still a rose.
I see the meaning behind it. I see the meaning behind it. It's just not, I don't want to say it's not relevant. It's just different in this culture.
Okay. So explain that. That's what I want to hear.
It's just different in this culture. Like people are getting married later. It's not arranged marriages. There was just so much working for them in abstaining until marriage then. They were 13.
I
am 33. So it's a different culture now. And we have not shifted or evolved the teaching.
At all.
We think that we have to put this culture back then and it's not working.
It's not even.
And people are mad because it's not working.
Yeah. Because I know that a lot of women are upset because we genuinely were thought if we hold ourselves that it is a guarantee to be married.
The consolation prize is a husband.
Yes.
And the thing about it, and should you go into abstinence thinking like, oh, no, you shouldn't. We 100% agree with that. But it's what we were taught and we believed it.
Absolutely.
And then when we saw our other friends getting married.
The ones that wasn't.
And baby, they throwing it back from the front to the back. And I could do that too. You want? I can swing from the. Don't count me out. You know, I just want to do it in covenant. That's it.
He said, don't count you out.
Don't count me out. I could, with the feather, you know, with the thing. I got 90s. I ain't got just a moo-moo. No, because it's real.
He said, don't count me out.
Because no, and you know what another thing is, she and I were able to like date pastors or apostles or prophets. You know, like
y'all date those type of guys?
Yes. We ain't doing
it like that. Right?
Hello?
Why you say it like that?
What you
speaking from experience.
Because that's interesting. So what y'all find in that?
They don't want for us.
They do no. Mm-mm.
Matter of fact, I got one dude on my line, and he's a pastor. That man, look, he ain't looking for no first lady. That is a man.
He's a man.
That is a man.
That is not Pastor so-and-so.
It is
That's
not.
a man.
And it's and though he does enjoy the fact that, you know, I know the word for myself. You know what I mean? Like we can go back and forth. We can pray together. We can do this. We can do that. But that man that's not his concern.
That's not his priority.
Put that dress on, put them heels on. We finna go, like, you know, that's what he wants to know. They're not, the men of God that we've run across, some of them are awesome. Some of them are amazing. And they really are like stand-up dudes. They are, truly. But then the other men of God who are out there, they're not checking for like Mary Magdalene. They're not checking for us.
You better say
like
Mary Magdalene.
Yeah, they are checking for Mary Magdalene. They're checking for her.
They don't want Mary Mother Jesus.
No, they're not looking for Mother Teresa. Like, my homeboy had to tell me, he was like, you were giving Mother Teresa a while ago. Now you giving Meg. And it's like, yeah, I am.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm walking around with sackcloth and ashes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Covered.
Modest. People, I just discovered my body, I was like, oh, right.
Yeah, smaller. Tighten it up.
You used to wear baggy clothes?
Yes. That one, I'm telling you,
up until what age?
A couple years ago.
I threw away my tight jeans and got nothing but like skirts and dresses, and I did that for some years. Like I was
very saved.
Or like, but even now I just do things in a very classy way. Like, yeah, this is out, but my legs are covered.
Yeah.
Or if I have on some shorts, you know, I might have on me a blouse or something. I just do it with class now. But let my belly go down a little bit. I'm finna be in a crop top. You know? She got it. She, you know.
It's been a journey.
But we were taught to disconnect from our bodies.
Absolutely.
For so long.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Dang, that's so good.
We had a great episode on women's health, and we talked about how some women of God are unfamiliar with their vaginas because they don't look at them.
They don't know.
You can't even tell your gynecologist what's going on. You don't know how long you had that rash. You ain't even. You don't know
everything is bad concerning that. Right. Everything is bad.
You better wipe and move on.
Hello.
Come on. And you wearing a tampon? Just a hussy. Just a hussy.
Right.
But we were taught so long to just disconnect from our bodies. Mm-hmm. And it's just the craziest
flesh.
thing.
You and your flesh.
The flesh.
The flesh.
Yeah,
hello?
Flesh.
No, you just need to be able to tell her, like, hey,
this ain't right.
I don't think the pH in the day.
Right.
I don't know. Something is off a little bit.
You don't know that stuff. I didn't know that stuff.
Hello?
I was probably in my early 20s. I didn't know.
Right.
So I just didn't know.
So you mean to me I got to watch out for this and I should use that.
Take care of that and not use this. Yep. Right.
And buy these drawers. Don't wear those drawers.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Let it air out sometimes.
Hello? Put you a little powder.
little talcum powder.
Hello? That's the old school. Y'all don't be powdering no more.
Nah. They had that commercial. You ain't supposed to use that. It caused the cancers and stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it caused a lot of cancers. A talcum powder.
Why I saw this thing, this lady was like, that's probably another episode.
Okay.
Be quiet. They ain't had no kids though. That's all. She was trying to tell them like what they used to do to not have no kids. I'm like, that you can't do that. That's not what that's for. I don't think this is right.
Oh, I gotta hear that after this.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna tell you after this.
That's crazy. Well, here we are.
Man. This was good.
No, this was real. They're going to be so mad because...
They can't be mad.
No, because I really want to keep going. And I know that they're going to want more episodes this long. I know they are. So that's why I'm saying they're going to be mad. That just means we got to do a round 2.
I'm here.
On the yellow couch. on the yellow couch.
On the yellow couch.
On the yellow couch.
You know, come on.
You know, just, you know, if
If time permits,
you know, time permits, schedules permit, you know, I'll
pencil us in, you know. Contact our assistant.
Yeah.
Assistant.
Yeah, because our assistant calls us.
Yeah. At breakfast.
At breakfast. Yeah, you know, we get calls and text messages too from our assistant. You know, she be keeping us in the loop.
Make sure that y'all are where y'all supposed to be.
Exactly. She checks our emails,
team, honey.
I know it.
We got a
period.
Hello.
That's dope. I appreciate that.
We somebody too.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm here. When I tell you, on a serious note, I sincerely respect everything that y'all doing. I've seen y'all on the charts, you know, ranking really high in different countries and whatnot. And I was like, who are these people? Because y'all tribe be DMing me, what you call y'all nieces?
Yeah.
So the nieces be DMing me, talking about, you need to have them on your podcast. You need to come on their podcast. And they just been hitting me up for about a year. And they'll leave a comment on something. And I was like, listen, I already had a conversation when we working on, are you for real? When? I said, it's coming. Because especially around that month of when y'all was doing a live podcast in May, they were hitting me up heavy during that time. And then, so I always say, you know, it works out when it's supposed to work out. And here we are. But this won't be the last time on either platform. So
y'all heard
we in agreement.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring y'all on.
How can two walk together?
I'm gonna bring her. I'm gonna bring her and her spouse on there. Oh, when y'all get married.
Okay.
When you get married, that'd be another episode. See, talk to him.
Catch that tea.
Yeah.
Clock that tea.
Bring y'all on here. Hear the whole journey. This long distance love affair.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be good, honey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because to be continued.
To be continued. Man, thank you so much for being here.
I enjoyed it.
No, we really appreciate it. I think
so good.
This was so on time.
Yeah, for sure.
You quite literally were the perfect person to come on here for our 100th episode. Absolutely. I feel like our platforms definitely go right along with 100%. And you have brought such a great perspective. You've been able to just share your journey with us, with our nieces, our fellow aunties, and our unks, and our nephews that watch. Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. Shout out to you, short kings.
He ain't gonna let that go. Well, listen, this has been another amazing episode of Your Favorite Aunties Podcast. Bye.